Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. It's terrible that from 2013 to 2018, Ripple was the most innovative company. To all of you, the source is yes. This is why the XRP community hates Simo so much. He is a Barack. Here in the upper right corner is a link to a video I recorded earlier in the day, in case you missed it. Earlier in the movie, I alluded to Simo Barack's personal difficulties, specifically the unfriendliness of the XRP community. Yes. Hey there. However, Barack continues by saying that Ripple was the pioneer in introducing Clodius programmable value transfer, which allowed for decentralized networks to function with lightning speed, energy efficiency, low transaction costs, and no central authority. They aim to connect to Ethereum using EVM in order to tap into part of that ecosystem's liquidity, and they are now playing catch-up with other blockchains, definitions, and NFTs. Thus, we return to the contentious topic of EVM integration. In light of what other players in the field did with the technology to rein in the wild beast, George Ashdown argues that the Peanut Butter Manifesto wasn't the best move for this new industry. He suggests that, given the rapid evolution of this technology, a more flexible vision may have been necessary to steer this emerging sector. And yet, emo, just agreeing, Barack. 100% the XRP ledger has taken a hit as a result of this, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this. At this very moment, the desire for native smart contracts on the XRP ledger has a 97.1% yes vote. I don't understand why somebody wouldn't want this. Observing Ethereum's network reorganization, we saw it go from a POW system with little throughput to a POS network that appeared to reach 100,000 transactions per second. This whole time, we haven't resolved our disagreement over whether or not to implement native Layer 1 smart contract capabilities. We should all cast our votes on this. He was responding to a tweet from a veteran who had asked, "Do you want Hook's native smart contracts on the XRP? The ledger? By the way, is there a poll here? I'm not sure. I think it's safe to assume that 93.6% of people here are in agreement. It seems like everyone has spoken about this, even Moon Lumbo. Sure, I see your point. Regarding the potential dangers of making such a move, I am unable to comment because I am not among the most formidable computer geeks in the neighborhood. The risk isn't zero, I know that. Is it truly unrealistic to install hooks on the XRP ledger, considering the significant theoretical change that has occurred? Can you respond to this with a negative? I think that's an excellent question. I mean, I'm not Sans Wells, and I don't know if any of you are, but a lot of us aren't interested in tech development. This is where the hooks feature comes in. It would reduce throughput and open the gates to DeFi activates, which would definitely lead to network congestion. PL has problems processing 100 to 150 transactions per second, as we observed with the XR spam. He warns that if we use hooks to decrease it and boost XR and PL activity in the end, we risk having unintended consequences like congestion and tax increases, among other things. We can't depend on Ripple to make us rich. Native smart contracts have to happen first. Congestion could increase the cost of making cheap payments, but it would also define the value of XRP and force us to improve our throughput capacity. On this page, he states, some intriguing points have been made. Just to reiterate, I'm not very good at this. So, in offering my viewpoint on this, I will not go into too much detail. As for me, I can't decide which one is better. What I mean is, I suppose, that you could say whatever you want about the technology, it's all based on common sense. It seems to reason, therefore, that the greater the demand for the XRP cryptocurrency, the better the degree of compatibility should be. Therefore, XRP's demand would increase over time if it ran over the EVM smart chain. That's simply my uninformed view. This is why we conduct research, men. I still need to speak with developers to acquire a better grasp on the subject, though. This is the reason behind our daily research in this area. So, yes, Emo Barack and Wells Moon Lumbo are two of my things. In consideration of their knowledge regarding this matter. Also, the Flare network is an option, you guys. By the way, the Flare token has been soaring recently. I'll show you the price chart for Flare on a daily basis. See the V-dip, boom, boom, all the way back to the spring of 2023, when Flare hit rock bottom about this time in late October. Also, the surge so far is about 3,000%. Hence, the Flare token. We are now witnessing approximately 0.031 at the time of this recording. Therefore, the cost per token is somewhat more than 3 cents. You know, a lot of good news from Flare sparked this rally, thanks to its co-founder Hugo Philium sharing the news of XRP's integration on its network. Michael Branch has gone on a bullish spree today. As of this writing, the price of Flare has increased by 7.1% in the past 24 hours. Over the weekend, the price hit 10% rise as bulls considered how XRP might affect the protocol. There has been a long overdue integration issue with Flare and XRP, despite its strong affiliation with Ripple Labs. Philium and his team are now committed to solving this, thus Philion in the beginning. Hugo Philion did use X to remark on this. All I wanted to do was tell you about this. Regarding the Flare and integration, King Do tweets about it. Many Ethereum and Bitcoin maximalists have no idea what it is. You see, we've been keeping tabs on Flare since 2019. When we were getting ready to launch Airdrop, which links XRP to a number of top 15 assets, I predicted that it would be a major integration push and a utility push for XRP holders and the Flare token alike. He continues by assuring them that all is well, saying that they would soon receive a warm welcome upon exchanging their tokens for F assets, which will allow them to generate passive income. Following Hugo Philion's tweet, Flare is going to link everything. This is coming straight from Flare. Crypto did tweet this morning that FXRP is opening up new possibilities for XRP to interact with Flare and other ecosystems in a natural and effortless way. This opens the door for DAP developers to build apps that can communicate with a wide range of fancy cross-chain objects. Subsequently, he reposted Hugo Philion's tweet in which FXRP is slated to facilitate the introduction of XRP to Flare and other ecosystems via a protocol known as Layer Cake Guys. Because of this, developers of DAPs can create DAPs that can communicate with various cross-chain assets that are or will be present on the Flare network. Developer Santiago Velez has jumped on this Twitter conversation, mentioning Hugo, and it's great. Now that we're on the XRPL Flare, it might also serve as high-quality decentralized data to dApps constructed utilizing hooks. Here we are discussing the possibility that Flare could be an Oracle provider under the XLS 47D amendment and provide decentralized data on-chain for DAPs. I'm not sure if Flare has responded yet, but there has been ongoing development in XRP integration, and soon we will see FXRP enable XRP to come to Flare and other ecosystems using this new protocol, the Layer Cake protocol. Stay tuned for more news about Flare's plans to connect everything. Thank you. To reach such ridiculously high prices, XRP's utility needs to expand. So good morning, Crypto King Dilgo, and thank you, Hugo Philly, for sharing those. Here we have ISO 2022 bringing up yet another fantastic update. Services offered by UPI will be launched in Sri Lanka and Mauritius tomorrow, following France. According to Prime Minister Modi, this is a special day because it pertains to the debut of India's UPI payment service in Sri Lanka and Mauritius. According to Mr. Modi, the UPI is taking on new duties to bring together partners with India, and he expressed his optimism that the new fintech services will benefit both countries. Rewind to July of 2017 if you must. It all started when the developers of India's UPI app announced that they were introducing Ripple technology to the Indian market. Although they could perceive the future, accepting change is challenging. They can't get much further without doing this. According to this article, the present global embrace of Ripple technology is one example of such a shift. The Asian market has been agog about Ripple, a platform that bridges the gap between conventional banking and blockchain technology. The Indian subcontinent is about to be conquered by technology, and that was all occurring because of the UPI app and the NPCI men. As the UPI app continues to connect more and more countries, it has finally made its way to India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi described the launch of India's unified payment interface services into Sri Lanka and Mauritius on February 12 as bridging the gap between traditional trade links and cutting-edge digital infrastructure. In a virtual event that was also attended by Prime Minister Modi of India, his equivalent in Mauritius, Provincial Duke North, and President Ron Neil of Sri Lanka, I will not even attempt to pronounce that last name, the RuPay card services of India were also introduced. According to Mr. Modi, the UPI is taking on new duties as a uniting partner in India, and he expressed his optimism that the new fintech service would benefit both countries. A quote for you all: "We are celebrating a momentous occasion as three friendly nations in the Indian Ocean region join forces to connect our rich history with cutting-edge digital technology. In my opinion, the UPI system will be useful for Mauritius and Sri Lanka." According to him, the Prime Minister made a statement about how the digital public infrastructure has changed India in a revolutionary way. As you all know, Ripple, XRP, is already well known in India. Additionally, he brought attention to India's policy of prioritizing its neighbors. Adding yet another quotation: "India has been and will remain a leading responder in times of natural disasters, health crises, economic crises, and international crises requiring assistance." As a result, we are witnessing the real-time settlement of payments over the XRP ledger using RippleNet technology from the Indian service provider UPI, which is expanding its payment systems to additional nations, such as Sri Lanka and Mauritius. Thus, further excellent news. For the price of XRP to continue rising, there must be an increasing demand for it. In particular, I'd like to express my gratitude to ISO for this because it is only the beginning of the many ways in which practical applications will alleviate financial hardship in these nations. That year, I don't know how many of you noticed this, but CoinDesk was pointing out the scoop here the other day, and that's just two examples of why Kahneman is furious. Metaco, the CEO of Ripple's own custodial firm, has recently left the company, as has Adrian Trecanni, CEO of Metaco, and Peter DeMeo, Chief Product Officer. After being bought by Ripple last year, they have departed from the crypto custody firm. A Ripple representative announced that CEO Adrian Trecanni and Chief Product Officer Peter DeMeo had left the company. MetaTrader was a Bitcoin custody service that Ripple purchased in May of 2023. Adrian and his team established a formidable and pioneering custody business, and we are grateful to him for his visionary leadership and seamless integration of the Ripple solution into the custody team. After the purchase last year, Ripple's continued provision of world-class enterprise crypto solutions to clients all across the globe is dependent on custody. I can feel some of you scratching your heads and asking what on earth went down there. Shouldn't he have stayed on? Just 8 months have passed since the purchase. In other words, it's possible there can be a plethora of factors at play here prior to the acquisition by Ripple. Good evening. European bank sought his help with digital asset custody, and he quickly became a favorite collaborator. However, HSBC was most recently acquired by Metaco, despite rumors that the bank was reassessing its ties with Metaco following the takeover. To put it simply, we are out of the loop on this. Even though Trecanni departed from both Ripple and Metaco, the latter of which he co-founded, the XRP community is naturally wondering whether this is parse. Last week, he was still somewhat connected to the economy, but he was also Senior Vice President of Products at Ripple, following the acquisition. The new hires at Metaco company aren't exactly fluffy bears, but Miriam is trying to draw a line under this, and as David Schwartz mentioned on Spaces, it's alright when individuals leave. I'm shocked Ratha Kahneman stayed after the sale, to be honest. Plus, a lot of the time these men are bound by contracts that say they have to stay for a certain number of months. Adrian or Kenny, not to mention Adrian Trecanni, the CEO, and Chief Product Officer Peter DeMeo, why isn't it 12 months? I'm interested. Simultaneously, they departed. I am uncertain, would it be acceptable? People leave, that's good, maybe it's for the best, says David Schwartz. With any luck, that will elevate a few Ripple employees to leadership positions, which could pave the road for additional support with the custody issue at Metaco. You never know. I intend to keep a careful eye on this story. Nonetheless, I stand by my assertion. Our performance over the past several weeks has been outstanding, and I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel and tell me what you think. You guys are going to reach 100,000 in no time. In order to enter to win 2 Ledger Nanos, you must subscribe and we must reach 100,000 subscribers by March 31st. Also, if you like the videos I post, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. See you soon, bye.